go, I release, and I know I forgive, I receive, I can feel, I believe, I am healed, I am whole, I release, I know. To push, no need to try, no need to worry or question why. Surrender, let go, release, and know.
Welcome to the Brahma Kumaris, where a new world is opened up for you. From humble beginnings in India in 1936 to a global organization with over 8,000 centers in 110 countries and 1 million students worldwide. Through their tireless commitment, passionate heart, and determined spirit, the Brahma Kumaris arrived in America in 1974 and have since grown to 35 main centers throughout America. There are also 2 residential retreat centers, Peace Village, located in upstate New York, and Anubhuti, located in Novato, California.
I want to just share a little bit about how the centers of Raj Yoga meditation began in United States. Actually, I was in Caribbean islands and I got invitation from New York that we want to start something about meditation. And it was in 1978 I came here and we rented a very small apartment in Astoria. And from there, I found that a lot of people have interest. I realized that there is so much need, and from there onwards, then centers started in many other states.
Our centers are safe spaces where you can explore the power of your inner world.
The classes are conducted in many, many homes, many cities, all over across the United States. A lot of people, they learn meditation, they use it, that meditation, at their workplace, in their family, and also I find that children, young adults, because they are so much into like what really is the life about.
The Brahma Kumaris are dedicated to personal and global transformation through the study and spiritual practice of Raj Yoga meditation. And at the heart of our teaching is the belief that the pathway to peace and happiness is to remember our original nature as spiritual beings connected to the One Source. In 1981, the organization received recognition as an international non-governmental organization affiliated with the United Nations and accredited with general consultative status with the Economic and Social Council. From organizing large-scale global initiatives to local community programs, the Brahma Kumaris has a tradition of service in every field that fosters spiritual growth among individuals from all backgrounds, cultures, and walks of life.
I hold on to this vision, the world of love, world of peace and harmony, world which is free from conflict and sorrow, where we can live as brothers, one family, children of common parents, one supreme divine power.
This is your invitation to awaken and join us in creating a world of love, peace, and kindness. Om Shanti. Everyone wishes to live their best life. We experiment with various ways to achieve that, whether it is through study, competing, finding a partner, working hard, or admiring someone who inspires you. It is the quality of our inner being that does it all, or grapples with fulfilling life's calling. For the past 20 years, the Brahma Kumaris in Washington, D.C. has been a space for any and everyone to enter into and experience one's soul calling. From 1997, the center opened in an old rickety house on Georgia Avenue in Silver Spring, Maryland, where cars and trucks that passed by would shake the space. But when you were inside, it was a peaceful and powerful sanctuary for all who visited. Since then, over 2,500 events, 17 city and nationwide initiatives, 21 awards, 2 meditation museums have served youths, senior citizens, entrepreneurs, scientists, authors, women, interfaith, the disabled, environment, small businesses, arts seekers, and even leaders. Millions of lives have been served, either through social media, the popular America Meditating radio show, or through exhibitions, lectures, partnerships, and programs held in the meditation museums and centers. We look at 20 years of service as a continued journey of love, courage, wisdom, and determination with friends from diverse backgrounds and thought who believe a better world is possible when we make ourselves better human beings. Meditation is an important tool that helps us to gain greater clarity, insights, and inner power so we can make healthy choices and amplify our capacity to live a full life. In times of great anxiety, insecurity, and fear, meditation is an essential practice for everyone to gain stability and inner strength. Just look at what a few dedicated, purposeful, and kind group of committed people have been able to achieve in 20 years. Thanks to everyone who have supported us along the way. And thanks in advance to those who believe in our work and power of intent. Brahma Kumari's Meditation Museums, where peace is inside. Hello everyone, Om Shanti, welcome to your next normal. I'm your host, Sister Jenna, and I hope your day was really awesome. The weather was great here, at least in Washington, D.C., and it's nice to be moving into fall and then winter time. And then we come right back to spring and then summer, the journey of the human soul. We're always changing, actually. Whether we wish to accept it or not, change is inevitable. For those of you who live in parts of the world where the weather is always spring, who gives? Whatever. But I'll tell you this, there's nothing like the 4 seasons. And in a way, there's nothing like when even the soul goes through the 4 seasons of change as well. Sometimes you're feeling really up, sometimes you're feeling up, sometimes you want to feel up, and sometimes you just want to just sit still and do nothing. Each scene, each experience is vital because they're all about the journey that you have taken and the experience that you have been through and how important that is. And one of the things that we have seen in our lives that has been a very big mover, it has really shook our dial. It has shifted us. It has made us really go into different portals of our consciousness that we might have never traveled before, and that is conflict. Whenever there is a conflict, it makes us think differently. And maybe it is very difficult for some of us who live with situations where there are a lot of conflicts in the home, and that's a hard one. On my way back today from getting some treatments, I was talking to Dr. Kogod, and I was asking her, how do you deal with, what's your way of dealing with conflict? And she was sharing it's about disarming people and coming from the I. And I thought it was nice. And what she was saying is, if the person is really in a very contentious space and is addressing their contention with you, you just tell them, I just want you to know that I feel uncomfortable with that tone, or I want you to know that I'm feeling quite hurt. And I said, well, that sounds all good and dandy if you're an intellectual. And maybe if you even have some emotional maturity, that works. But what about a woman who's in a relationship that's very abusive, whether it's emotional or physical? I don't think that's going to work for her. And what would you say to a woman who might be feeling that she wants to speak up, but everything inside of the soul is shaking, the heart is shaking, the system is shaking. It wants to speak in the tone of I don't like when you speak at me like this. But everything inside is like an earthquake going on. And when you're trying to speak, you're trying to stay as calm as possible because you're also trying to diffuse his anger or maybe her anger, depending on what's the role in the relationship. But you're trying to diffuse that anger, yet inside you're tearing up, you're shaking, you are completely afraid. Will speaking from your I be useful? I told her I don't think so. Because people and we as spiritual energies, we're more prone to picking up the vibrations more than our words. How many of you maybe throughout the months that we have happily been together as an intimate, loving community of brothers and sisters across the globe, how many of you really remember everything that I've said? versus maybe you'd say, oh, that felt good, that felt right. And how many of you have journeyed with me, Santosh, Sister Geeta, when Lakshmi was here, Naveen was here, you know, the brother who cooks, Little Happy. How many of you have journeyed with us over the last few months from our home, of which we call the center or the ashram, and we've been so authentic with sharing with you all the things that we're going through. And that eye that we shared from was really the eye of this is how we felt. In our program with Reverend Sylvia yesterday, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I just love my Reverend Sylvia. But I thoroughly enjoyed our conversation, you know, it just stayed so true and so natural. And that's the next normal. The next normal will be individuals who have decided to stop wearing masks, not the physical masks, but the spiritual mask. That's why we're wearing physical masks. We're wearing these physical masks to give us an idea of how it has felt at a soul level to not be yourself. To just not be yourself. And then the destiny, the universe, the drama says, well, let me put masks on everyone so they can see. They can see what they've been doing to themselves. And I found it interesting that the mask has to cover predominantly the nose and the mouth. Like when you speak, you can't hear yourself. So is it that even sometimes when we would have a dialogue with ourselves, we were muffled, that we weren't really speaking with the freedom and the freshness of air that we know we should be treating our subconscious with? And so why is the world wearing a mask? It's showing us what it looks like to be living a life not being yourself. Over and over again, that's what we're seeing. You know? So when we're dealing with conflict, where do we begin? What do we do? How do we handle it? Each conflict seems to ask what we think, something different from us, like a boss might be in a contentious state and they're creating conflict in the relationship at the workplace. My teenagers or my children, I have a different maybe feeling of conflict with them. Then there could be a relative, an in-law, or maybe a spouse. The feeling or the sense of conflict can be slightly different. Today when I came back in from my treatment and I was in the room that I stay in, just laying down a little bit before I came down to be with all of you. It was so funny. Santosh came in to check if I needed anything, and Sister Geeta came in with, let me just give you the list. Came in with a piece of paper with a number that I was to call some lady that she says, this lady likes you very much, she lives in Virginia, and you must call her. So I'm like, okay, when I get up, I'll call her. Then she came in with a vacuum cleaner. I think I saw something on the carpet, so I'm just going to vacuum it now. I says, well, maybe not right now. Could you just hold off for half an hour, maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes, I'll be fine. Oh. And she goes out with the vacuum cleaner. Then she comes back in the room with the paper. This lady, you have to call her. I just want you to know. She likes you. She's in Virginia. And then she comes and she puts the paper on the bed, literally by my face. So I'm thinking of tonight's topic, dealing with conflict, because I'm about to lose it now, right? Because I really need to take a nap here. This treatment really makes me exhausted, right? So I'm like telling her, could you just give me just a few minutes, okay? Just a few. And then she came back in with some books, and then she was on her cell phone, and then on her cell phone she says, Jen, what is this? You have to, if I die, why does my phone look like that? And I'm like, what's wrong with the phone? Oh, that's okay, and I'm like, everybody, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to lay down here. And I kept thinking about the topic tonight. And I said, look, if I lose it, as Sister Geeta, Sister Geeta is trying to create conflict. And then Santosh so nicely was saying, Sister Geeta, just let Sister Jenna just rest for just 10, 15 minutes, okay? Okay, I'll let her rest.
And then she comes back in like 2 minutes later with something else to do. So I was turned to Santosh, brother, and I said, fascinating, isn't it? It's like there are certain people in our lives to just basically test you, to see if you really have the answers to your problems, and to basically offer you an opportunity to grow. And I want to start off with us looking at all those relationships in our lives that are basically just a test. They're a test, and they are basically a gift. Today, by the way, everyone, I passed with flying colors. I gave up the option or the possibility or the gift of a nap, and I just said, let me just get up and get something to drink. It's not going to work. Because the more I tried, the more the test kept coming. And as the test kept entering the room every 5 minutes, and I would look at the test paper, and remember, Santosh, once in a while I start laughing. Then there was another time, I think she came in with the music or something, and I was just like, then she started to dance. Yes, she was dancing. And I just started laughing and smiling and says, look at how these tests come in all different forms. Just different tests. It's okay. That's how we need to look at conflicts. We need to look at the actors and the people in our lives that we think are creating our conflict. Rather, maybe we should look at them as just our test opportunity for us to gauge, how am I doing? And once we can get out of that space of, always feeling like being on the other side of this relationship or having something else other than what you have, because that can stimulate a lot of your disturbance. When you don't recognize that what's exactly in front of you is your greatest gift, and if you accept it, and I'm speaking from experience today, I don't know what I'll be tomorrow, but I'm speaking from experience today, that if you don't accept your test, knowing that it's your greatest gift, that is moving you to such a powerful place for you, a place of peace. And every time you pass those test papers, your dignity increases, your integrity, your worth, your value, your self-respect. Because it was about maybe 30 minutes I tried, and within those 30 minutes, Sister Geeta must have, how many times did she enter the room? Some of them banging the door, some of them not, some of them, I think maybe 10 times, at least 10 times within the 30 minutes. That when I actually went to the kitchen to have a bite to eat, because actually I had not eaten all day today, and when I came back from my appointment, I just wanted to lay down. So I drank a whole bottle of water, and I just wanted to lay down. And then here came my test paper, and the test just came in different ways. Call this person, let me vacuum. Well, can you show me this? Look at this. Why don't you do this? Jen, what does this say? And then they started dancing. That was the best part. And I'm just sitting, Santosh is sitting there, and I'm going, look at that. She's got moves, huh? It's very good. And I'm laughing to myself because I'm realizing tonight's program is dealing with conflict. And I need to pass this exam. And so I got up, and when I went and I grabbed a bite to eat, and then I had some water and some, what is that thing I don't like, the kombucha that you all force me to drink. They keep forcing me to drink this kombucha. It's, ugh. Anyway, I sat there and I thought about what just happened almost an hour ago. And I remembered Baba in my heart. And I said with a smile, I said, Baba, I passed really well this one, you know that? I really passed this test really well. And he says, yes, child, you did very well. Thank you. And I just ate. I took happy out, you know. And so you deal with conflict by recognizing that they are actually a gift to help you to see what's your inner resolve. and what do you understand about yourself? How much strength do you believe you actually have? And all of that comes from soul consciousness. The more you consider yourself to be a soul, the soul just naturally starts to gravitate to its original power again. It starts to rekindle, remember, re-experience. This is a new word I'm creating. Re-experience what it was like to be complete and full inside. That you didn't need to be somewhere else. You didn't need to be with another person. You didn't need anything else. You were present. You were mature. You accept this is your gift and your test. Take it. And you move to the next level. That's all we got to do. So when you're dealing with conflict, look at every conflict as a gift that comes in the form of a test. And it's basically helping you to move to the next level. All right, so as we've been continuing with our meditations with the Brahma Kumaris in the United Kingdom, let's play some more soul conscious meditations. Sit back, relax, call your friends, your family to the room. Say, come on, come on, come on, everyone, it's meditation time. We're going to meditate, we're going to meditate. Take a deep breath, deep zen. Call them now, call them now. Give you a few seconds to text them. Yo, come down, it's meditation time. And have them come and join you in the space so that they can be of a great support for you. So take a deep breath. Exhale. And enjoy the journey.
Day 7, expand your love. Compassion is a very intriguing quality. It motivates us to care for the well-being of others and reduce their suffering. But one of the really interesting things about it is the more compassion you have for others, the happier you become yourself. Compassionate feelings are a buffer against diseases caused by stress and an antidote to depression. Becoming more compassionate can even lengthen your life. So even though it seems to be natural to all of us, no matter what our starting point, we can all benefit from turning up the dial on our compassionate feelings for others. The basis of compassion is caring about another and their well-being. When we feel compassion for another person, we want them to be well. The experience of our heart expanding and deeply caring for others is a beautiful feeling. So let's have a go at increasing our feelings of compassion for people close to us, and then we'll open that up wider. We'll start by slowing down our thoughts, by observing our mind with kindness. Gaze into your mind. Watch without judgment. Be curious about anything you see happening there. As you watch, your thoughts start to slow down. Then lift yourself above your thinking mind into the gentle light of the soul. Immerse yourself in the feeling of a wide, open-hearted love that exists here. Think of someone close to you. Many things will have happened to them in the past 24 hours. Some of those things may have been challenges, some emotionally uncomfortable. In the past weeks, months, or years, they may have endured painful experiences. Open your heart towards them and wish for them to be free of suffering and have more happiness and well-being in their life. Breathe deeply and allow these feelings of compassion for this person to well up in your heart. Imagine them receiving your good wishes on a soul level. Think of them receiving these feelings and experiencing warmth and care, like a blanket surrounding them and allowing them to feel safe. The good wishes you're sending will lift their spirit. Rest a moment in this experience. Now let's do this for someone you know but are not so close to. They too may be going through challenging times, things from the past or challenges from the present. Open your heart towards them and wish for them to be free of suffering and have more happiness and well-being in their life. Speak to them in your mind on a soul-to-soul level. I wish you freedom from suffering. I wish you happiness. Allow these feelings to surround them. Allow that goodwill for them to expand your heart, its capacity for love widening out further. Rest a moment in this experience of pure, silent giving. And finally, to open your heart to a wider sense of compassion, think of someone you don't normally agree with or get on with. It could be someone you know personally or someone in the public eye. They too may suffer from old emotional wounds that make them feel unsafe being their real self. Those wounds may have led to problems between you, or they may lead them to act out painful ways of being towards others. Can you care for the well-being of this person too? Open your heart towards them and wish for them to be free of suffering and have more happiness and well-being in their life. When someone receives good wishes, it helps them to come home to their own goodness. Speak to them in your mind on a soul-to-soul level. I wish you freedom from suffering. I wish you happiness. Allow those feelings to surround them. Allow that goodwill for them to expand your heart even further, enlarging your capacity for love. Practice this 3 times during the day, when you pause for tea, or while walking, stuck in traffic, or waiting for a bus. Send goodwill towards people in your life or in the world in general. Notice the effect this has on you and your day.
I sure wish the world would meditate more. To just be able to feel that deeper intimacy with the self. Perhaps one of the reasons why we keep searching for a deeper sense of intimacy, because maybe there is a lot of conflict in the home, or maybe there is a lot of conflict in the workplace, or maybe there's conflict with a friend or relative, is that the soul naturally wants to feel better about itself and about its environment. It wants to feel safe. It wants to feel comfortable. And the method of meditation actually takes the soul inwards and develops this very trusting, sacred, open conversation with the self, an appreciation of the self. There isn't an expectation when you're having this very intimate dialogue with yourself that you're not going to accept what you have become, at least at this point in time. But it's like a friend, a friend just accepts you. And of course, sometimes they'll also tell you things that you might not want to hear. But when you develop that fragrance of feeling that you really have a pretty awesome, deep, intimate relationship with yourself, and then feeling the safety to be able to evolve that relationship to God, to the Supreme Being, and then feeling that as you're walking and moving around throughout the whole day, that there is that feeling of security and a sense of companionship that travels with you in your consciousness. So even when you encounter someone who doesn't really seem to be in a good place for themselves, because generally when people are negative or vicious or contentious, they're struggling. They're deeply struggling with something inside, and maybe they're just familiar with you, or maybe they just don't know boundaries, or maybe they feel comforted in knowing that however they are with you, you're going to be fine with it. But if you're not, then of course you definitely have to stand up inside first, and then externally to say, I don't think I like that. In order for your words to really be truthful and honest, I believe, and this works for me, that my deep relationship with Baba has given me a lot of strength and a lot of courage to speak certain truths that a lot of people would be afraid to speak, or a lot of people would be uncomfortable to say them, and especially with a very peaceful tone. But there's a kind of a power that when you and Baba are solid, and there's no third party in between you and your love for the divine, then there's something that comes over you that you can deal with anything that comes your way. Sometimes you're not going to do well. Sometimes you're going to fail miserably. But every time you get up, it's like Baba's pulling you up. You know, even if you're having a conflict with somebody and you felt like you failed miserably, when that cools down, it's like you there sit with Baba, and then you say to Baba, what just happened? Like, why did I walk away from myself so far? Why did I leave you? And let that energy be more important than the love that you give to me, that intimate feeling. It's sort of like you've left the one that you're in love with and had an affair with somebody that had no significance. You know, and you know how that creates a lot of issues inside, and it can really travel in a way that vibrationally it makes things very complicated in a marriage or in a relationship. So like every time you make a conflict or a situation bigger or more important than your relationship or your intimacy between soul and God, I feel you hurt something inside. And we've all done that, and we're all guilty of that. And knowing that now, then what do I intend to do? Where do I want to go now with these feelings? How do I want to handle these tests that keep coming my way? Again, it will come through the closest people in our lives, let alone leaders, of our country. 2 or 3 folks reached out to me on the telephone today, and maybe within the first minute or two in the conversation, says, did you watch the debate? And I went, absolutely not. I'm not going to put any of that in my consciousness. It's of no use. It's entertainment. I can't let that energy come into me. And of course, when I was on my Twitter handle, then I came across some of the snippets, like 20 seconds or 30 seconds, and I went, of course. And just 20 seconds of just scrolling through Twitter, I could feel the energy of how jarring it must have been if people had to watch that for an hour or two, and just all the thoughts that would go in. So how many of you actually, and I didn't, but how many of you actually looked at that and just kept sending vibrations of peace and love to those both candidates and to the moderator? That's how much power we need to have when it comes on to dealing with conflict with people in our homes or in our lives. That my relationship between me and Baba and God is so solid, it can't be more important than what you're doing. And so whatever's happening on the outside, even if it's contentious, can I send these vibrations to those souls? Or maybe I don't even need to invest in this energy. When Kanye was driving me back to the house today, we were driving through Georgetown, and the windows were down because the weather was so fabulous. And apparently there was a store on our east side of the vehicle. I think it was Preet's Coffee or something, or Pete's Coffee. And there were, I guess, 2 or 3 people. I couldn't visualize everything, but obviously there was a man who was extremely irate and very angry man. And because we could hear it in the car because the windows were down. And he was speaking to another lady, and I don't know if the lady was homeless or all of them were homeless or what have you. but he did have something in his hand, and he was speaking very sharply, and he did have a mask on, believe it or not. And I just turned gently to Kanu, and I said, "Do you see how algae plays out in people when it has reached a pretty strong, it's been fed strongly? And that's what we're going to see more of. And maybe not to homeless people, but to next door neighbors, to the nicest of guys and nicest of ladies. If they don't take care of themselves now and become messengers of love and messengers of peace and messengers of purity, then the vibration of algae will be the message. And then you'll see so much conflict that nobody actually wants to deal with it. It'll just be one speaking conflict to another person speaking conflict, and it'll just be pandemonium. So I'm hoping that today's sharing kind of helped to kind of give us the courage to step more inwards and to find pull from the resources within you, that intimate part of you that has love and God and light. So let's do a little bit of that, listening to this meditation now and stepping inwards by our lovely brother Anthony Strano, who's not with us anymore, but at a spiritual level, he definitely is. So enjoy this meditation and take a breath again and just feel the words that I've shared with you today and what they have meant and how they are and what you think would be the process that you need to take tonight. Enjoy.
Inwards. I relax. I relax my body completely. And gently, very gently, I step into silence. I step inside myself. And in the silence, I disconnect from the things around me. I relax. I am still. And for the next 10 minutes, I will remain inside myself. I will remain in the silence, concentrating and keeping myself disconnected from all the things around me. Taking this journey inward, I wish to know myself. I want to be with myself and not think of anything else. Beyond worry, beyond fears, beyond the noises of the outside, I become still. Gently, I concentrate, and I ask myself, who am I? Who am I really? Am I this name, this body, this nationality? Or is there something more to my existence? In the silence, I focus my mind and concentrate on the center of my forehead. And as I focus, I visualize a point of light, a point of eternal energy. I understand. I am this light. I am this point of spiritual energy. I am here. I am the soul, a point of living light, the spiritual being. This is who I am. And as I journey deep, very deep within myself, I remember, I realize that I have great resources, great power within myself. I am a soul, and inside me lies all my experiences, my identity, and all the things I need to make my life happier and more peaceful. Who am I? I am a spiritual being, a point of eternal light. I let these thoughts penetrate my mind. I concentrate on these thoughts completely. I am a soul. I am immortal energy. I am peace. Peace is my original strength. Within myself, I visualize a pool of energy. This energy is the energy of peace. I go deeper and deeper within my peace. I remain in this experience. I remain within this consciousness. My original and deepest quality is of peace. Peace is my original nature. Peace is my original strength. And the deeper I go into myself, the deeper I go into my original peace. I am no longer distracted by all the things outside me. I remain in this consciousness. There is only peace, only silence. Peace and silence. I feel myself becoming free. I feel myself becoming stronger. I feel myself becoming lighter, stable. As my thought, so my consciousness. I allow this thought and this feeling of pure peace and harmony to flow throughout my being. Now, peace flows through me. Peace, harmony, freedom belong to me. I am strong. I am full. I am content. I am in peace. Now in this silence, I am completely inside, very quiet, very still. I am at one with myself. I find contentment. I am at peace. I begin to remember myself. I begin to understand myself. I begin to accept myself. And as I remember, and as I accept, I respect my original being, and love emerges. I feel confident. I feel secure. I feel there is a great stability now. There is strength, and there is the power to create a life of quality, a life of meaning, a life of purpose. I have found my focal point, my inner compass to direct my external life. And as I remain here, inside, I ask myself, where do I come from? In the stillness, I hear the silence. I listen, and I realize that my original home is very, very far from this world of sound, of time, of matter. I come from a world of eternal light, a world of silence, a world of peace. That is my home. This is where I come from. And with my thought, I travel upwards to the world of liberation, the world of nirvana. Let me remain in this consciousness of the self, of the peaceful self, and the peaceful home. Peace, harmony, and silence. Let me remain here. Peace and silence. Only silence.
So that's our show for tonight. I hope it has ended on a beautiful note in helping you to, I would more even say, overcome conflicts rather than deal with conflicts. How do we? And it's my pure wish that you just never give up on your inner resilience and your ability to choose another way of responding to the way life shows up in front of you, knowing that you actually invited that particular scene to help you to evolve, and that that's okay. And that's okay. And I know that sometimes they're just tough ones. They're just tough. Sometimes you just don't get a break from some of the challenges that you encounter. But, you know, I got a sweet little video of a message by Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And as you know, she has transitioned and flown away from her role of RGB. But I'm sure she'll be back with as much force and light that she's left us with. And I thought that I'd end tonight's sharing on a light note. Enjoy her and enjoy your family and your friends, or maybe your pet, or just enjoy the silence in your home today. And we'll see you tomorrow. Lots of love. Take care.
The best advice I've ever received, and it came from my mother-in-law the day we were married. We were married in Marty's home, and just before the ceremony, Mother said, "Ruth, I would like to tell you the secret of a happy marriage." Oh, I'd be delighted to know. What is it? It helps every now and then to be a little deaf. So if an unkind or thoughtless word is spoken, you just tune out, you don't hear it. Now that is advice I have followed not only in a marriage for 56 years, but also to this day in dealing with my colleagues.
I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. And I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. And I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. I will be easy on myself. I will be easy on myself. And I love myself like a newborn baby child. I will be easy on myself. I will be easy on myself. And I love myself like a newborn baby child. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. And I will only go as fast as the slowest